Before we begin, special thank you to the Governor for giving this video the go-ahead, and a very special thank you to the modeler who left his inventory public. Now, to all the Roblox developers and boat enthusiasts out there, keep in mind I have no formal exposure to either field, and so you must be prepared for me to confuse and butcher all of this fucking terminology. Sorry, but I'm not a boat guy, and I'm not a dev, okay? So I'm going to confuse models and meshes and decals, and I'm going to confuse all the parts of the boats. So be prepared for that. Today we're going to take a look at Modeler as Waka's inventory. You'll see in this clip it's privated, but a couple months earlier when I did this whole recording, it actually wasn't privated. This was one of the few mods who actually kept their entire inventory public. And because this modeler's inventory was public, we could see all the new stuff he's developing. Now, you'll have to forgive me. We're about to cut to some really low resolution shitty footage because I had to actually just rip this from the unlisted YouTube video. I put this all in because I accidentally deleted the video file months ago, and so the only recording I had was this spare unlisted video I put up on YouTube on my channel containing all this information. Just, as a safety measure in case I lost the video recording file, and whoop-de-fucking-do, I did actually lose it, so sorry, the quality is shit. But anyways, we start out here with these decal pages, and these are, if you recognize them, all the current, eyeball and nose and mouth decals that you see on player faces. There's no leaks here. I'm just messing around with this, just looking at different things. As we skip down here, you see a couple of these are actual faces, which is just the modelers just sort of smushing them all together, seeing what they look like. It's like hypothetical mock-ups of what all these fancy art pieces actually look like together. We go through a couple pages of them. See some shit for a McDonald's cup. That's what those weird colored things are, the ones that look like Pokeballs. And then a little further up, yeah, these are actually, I don't know how these work, but this is colors for things. So that is for French fries. Definitely not Northwind related. These are colors for eyeballs. I don't know how these work, but somehow this image translates into eyeball colors. That is all the shades of an eye. I don't know how, but it is. Devs never cease to amaze me. Anyways, these are just the eye decals. We're not going to move down. As you see, I'm scrolling through. Meshes are where it's at. There we go. And this is the sloop model. Now, as you see, these are all in different parts. And from what I understand, this is done for a number of reasons. So, this one, yeah, I didn't know what this part was. But essentially, these are all different parts so that the devs can individually assemble them and make them all their own colors, right? This first bit, this is the hull section. When I go to it, you'll notice there's a bunch of pieces missing. That's because they're going to be recolored. Oh, that's not the hull section. I don't remember what that is. That is the bowsprit at the front of the boat. Next to it, yeah, this is the hull section. As you see, there's little divots in it, and that'll be replaced by a second piece we'll get to later. Here we've got the steering wheel. I don't know what the boat term for steering wheel is, so I'm going to keep that. These are some pulley systems. I'm sure this has to do with the rigging. We've got this little one here, look like Oreos. Yeah, there's the steering wheel. Those little divots you saw cut out, that's where iron pieces are going to go, little iron accents. Not iron, an ingot accent color for the wood. That is just part of the pulley assembly. This is some sort of guard rail for the ladders on the side of the boat, the rope that goes down the ladders so you can climb up into it. Next page over here, we've got some crow's nest stuff for the top of the boat. This is all the sloop, mind you. There's no other boat. This is the only one he had finished. Yeah, that's just part of the mast. That's the top of the mast. It's got this large square sail, which we'll see later in the video. We go down. These are a bunch of the pieces that were missing, if you remember. These are the pieces that were not on that original hull model. So these are like the accent colors and stuff that'll be made of ingots or some different wood types when we finally get to customizing these boats. Then we've got more stuff for the pulley system, for the like the rigging and shit. I don't know how it's gonna go together. That's like some sort of guardrail for the stern, I believe. Yeah, that's where the pulleys are gonna go on that thing, that weird looking thing. It'll probably be like metal. This is actually the base for the steering wheel. The steering wheel goes on top of that, and then here we just have the missing sections in the hull that I showed you earlier, and that's the rudder. Nothing very interesting about that. So I move on. I looked at a Pokemon thing. Models never cease to amaze me. I don't know what this Pokemon is, but it looked like a lion-looking thing, and I was just curious. We then move on to the next page. As we proceed further into this dev's inventory, we're going to get into like mock-up territory of like previous models of what he thought the sloop would look like, and so we get some like really ugly-looking boats. It's kind of funny. Yeah, we just got more redundancy. Earlier versions of the same parts we've looked at already. This is the the metal accents on the steering wheel that I just clicked on there. Yeah, this is the sail, as you see. Got this square mast thing. I'm not really sure what the sail types on boats are, but it's a square one. Yeah, these are the iron accents I talked about. Yeah, metal accents. Keep saying iron. And then over here, when I switch, I have no idea what that is. I'll be honest. I don't know. It's just a square. We move on. Yeah, more redundancy, more earlier versions of the same parts. Nothing new yet. Even more redundancy. Got some more stuff for the crow's nest on the top of the ship. That's like the little lookout. That's what those peg looking things are for. Yeah, even more redundancy. Pretty soon there's like a completed mock-up of the steering wheel and its like base board. But we have yet to get to it. Then up top we've got some guardrails, which I didn't point out earlier. We've got more guardrails for the sides of the ship so they don't fall off. Oh yeah, and then I open another pick of the bowsprit eventually here. Yeah, even more of those. So that's like the front of the ship. That's called the bowsprit. And I'm sure some sort of figurehead might be mounted on that, with like a Ducat thing, like in Tradelands. We'll see. Then we open this. This is an earlier version of the sloop. This is what these are like mock-ups. This Deb showing to Laz like, hey, this is what it could look like, or showing to Fred. This is like a hypothetical. For those of you interested, the actual sloop is going to have 4 little cannon ports on the sides there. And this is just the earliest of mock-ups. As you see, these look like dog shit. But, that's how dev work goes. Oh, yeah, this is the cool bit. This is what the steering wheel and its pieces assembled is going to look like when I actually open it. And then we get some earlier Northwood models, like the rowboats and the pine trees. And then we've just got, yeah, this is the steering wheel. This is what it should look like completed. And that'll go just on the top of the deck. It actually looks really nice. I'm very impressed by it. This is just half of one of the earliest models of the sloop. This is just both halves mirrored. Yeah. And so then we just go here, and then we start getting into existing models. Like you saw a boulder, see some trees, some other shit. A little later on, we get tent models, and then we get like Fort Rupert models. This is all, yeah, these are like pulley systems for those bridges back where old Fort Rupert used to be. Yeah, and this is all just Fort Rupert models, so we're going to end it here. Ooh, and just one closing thought. If any of you thought this was bullshit and completely fake, this is a house building teaser we got a couple weeks before the launch of Ellesmere. You can see the finished boat in the teaser, so yeah, it's real.